2, 3, 4. Overhead the albatross hangs motionless upon the air, and deep beneath the rolling waves, in labyrinths of coral caves, the echo of a distant time.
Non, non, il est pas dans le chant là, refais-le le clap.
Dave, au micro, chant.
Bon, alors tape sur le micro maintenant parce que.
What? Shit. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Overhead the albatross hangs motionless upon the air, and deep beneath the rolling waves, in labyrinths of coral caves, the echo of a distant time comes willowing across the sand, and everything is green and submarine. And no one called us to the land, and no one knows the wheres or whys. Something stirs and something tries, starts to climb towards the light.
Was it he put an hand in? Yeah, and you put an hand in before everything, and there isn't one. Hello, Mum. Hello, Dad. Christ, just the oysters are good, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes, there's good oysters here, aren't there?
Yes.
Yes.
There's good oysters here. Seems to be the right season of year.
Bit of grit on
The
your
oysters
tongue,
all right.
The oysters are very good.
Yes, this time of year.
Well, they're French oysters.
Well, I don't know what nationality they are. But they
I
certainly
like to
seem
think
to be all right.
I like to think that oysters transcend national barriers, Adrian.
Well, what did you mean?
I meant Nick's mum grows them in her swimming pool. Don't
So
she?
Nick doesn't like them?
That's why his mum grows them in the swimming
He's getting
pool.
back at me.
Well,
Alors, on peut couper la maison.
On n'a pas de clap là. Fais-moi la clap.
Ah bon, je le fais là. Oysters.
Oui, là. Voilà.
Club de fin.
What's burning?
Something to do with Richard.
Smells like hair.
It's
Something to do with that ashtray.
Oh.
Would you believe?
What is it?
Disgusting.
It's chewing
Smells like
gum.
feathers, actually. For Christ's sake, put it out.
Chewing gum.
Salmon.
Oh, it's on fire. Give you the horn.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Could the other people keep
I
quiet?
said, why didn't you
Robert.
say that
What's
after?
going on there?
Put one on him, Bob.
Look, I'm trying to ask serious questions.
Yeah.
What's going on? Do oysters put you in a good mood for working?
I don't know.
Well, they certainly seem to, don't they, Rog?
Sorry, Rob.
This is ridiculous.
There's no good coming in here trying to be serious,
I'm
is it?
losing my
Great.
grip on things.
Somebody out there dying.
Talking now.
Someone's choking.
Right. No. Do oysters put you in a good mood for working?
Adrian, look, this has
Why
got
don't you
to
ask
stop.
that
This
again?
attempt to elicit conversation out of the chaps is doomed to failure. They know you're trying to get them to talk.
And they're not.
Don't
Now,
you,
if you
boys?
just spoke to us naturally, as if we were having a natural conversation, we said in a very loud voice.
Well, how can we go about it? I don't know.
Well, it's happened. You're doing it now.
Well, this is part of it.
This should break it
You're
down.
making it now. It's all these silly, stilted questions about oysters.
Well, I thought that oysters were a funny sort of subject, you know.
They're not really a subject, they're just
They're
oysters.
something you
They're
eat.
just
You
lunch.
don't talk about them, you eat them, don't you?
Could David in particular just maybe finish his mouthful before he talks?
Why?
Because it's rude, David. And people get
What
the
does
wrong
rude
impression.
mean?
Rude means horrible.
I don't believe in it.
Well,
Quite.
maybe you
I
could.
don't believe in it. I don't believe in it.
Etiquette. Stick it up your...
Grab the phone.
What did I pop on?
Albatross upon the air. Upon the air.
What's this film you've been making about? The duplicity of the man. Well, I'm a little unsure. Its original concept seems to have altered somewhat in terms of content. It seems now to be more about us than anything else.
It's a film about you.
Yes. Yes, I think it is. It's or about. It's not really about our music. It's a documentary, really, of a performance over a number of days, which occurred in two places, mainly in Pompeii, in the old amphitheatre, and then some work in a studio in Paris.
Are you happy about it?
What I've seen of it, extremely, yes.
Do you find it interesting in film work or not, or is it rather a bore?
Some of it's a bore, obviously because of the techniques of filming. But on the other hand, it's quite interesting if one can get over the boredom of hanging around waiting for shots to be done and all that.
Are you fairly happy about it?
I'm fairly happy with what I've seen, but then, you know, the final product will be obviously a lot different to what I've seen. And I'm very happy with the music, because that's something I know about, and we're listening to it now, and it's good. And I said the rushes are good as well, but it all depends now as how it's edited.
What a film.
Well, the film you've been in Paris, and somebody said you've been down to Pompeii as well.
Huh?
I mean, what's it all about, you know? Trying to get some information on the film you're doing.
Rock and roll.
It's rock and roll?
Mm.
David, get him off. Huh?
Non, c'est pas dans le champ.
What's this film you've been working on?
You ought to know, you're the director. Oops.
Put yourself together, David.
I can't. Oh dear, God, what terrible. It's a film being made in Pompeii, mostly in Italy.
What's it about?
And it's about the Pink Floyd, of course.
Are you fairly happy about the film?
What do you mean happy?
Well, I mean, do you feel that it's going in a direction which is interesting or not?
What do you mean interesting?
It was supposed to be about Christo and Magritte as well, I do believe, but I don't know whether the director has it in mind to carry on those lines.
Are you happy about the film on the whole?
Dear, oh dear, this gets deeper and deeper. This isn't for TV, this is for you. Yes, I think I'm fairly happy about the film. Seems jolly good fun to me.
What's this film that you've been doing all about? Been trying to find out, you know, off the others what they think about it, but they tell me what they thought about it. What do you think about it?
You asked me all this before.
You didn't reply though.
No.
Well, we'll go on to something else, shall we?
Yep.
Yeah. Have you seen the other pop films or not? I mean,
Yes, I've seen some other pop films.
Did you like any of them, and if so, which one?
Yes, I've liked Joe Cocker's Mad Dogs and Englishmen. I liked Frank Zappa's 200 Motels. I liked Tony Palmer's All My Loving.
Woodstock?
Woodstock, jolly good fun, yeah, admirable.
I liked Woodstock very much indeed. I liked the split screening, and I thought that some of the atmosphere came over in Woodstock. I mean, it was a huge improvement over previous films where a band has appeared and mimed rather badly to some popular tune of the day.
The one I really liked was Joe Cocker's,
Yeah.
because that really made me feel good. Woodstock as an event was incredible, but Joe Cocker's film, I think, is one of the best films I've seen on pop music.
Why do you find that particularly good?
Because it's not trying to do anything but show what was happening. Somehow, it seems to me a very honest film in a way. That's the impression I got of it.
What do you think about the other pop films that have been out? I mean, things like, I don't know, Joe Cocker or Give Me Shelter or Woodstock or...
I haven't seen the Joe Cocker movie.
Hmm.
I enjoyed Woodstock.
Why?
Well, it's rock and roll, isn't it?
Success has always meant that there's 100 copyists ready to jump. I mean, that's not true in view of rock and roll, as you yourself well know, Adrian. In terms of films, a successful film is always followed by a spate of films along the same sort of lines.
There'll be a lot of films that will look like Woodstock for some time.
Yes, I mean, not a lot, because, the immediate copyists of Woodstock I mean, a disaster. I mean, there was the Woodstock Festival, which was filmed almost immediately afterwards. There were about 3 other films that were made of festivals, all of which were never completed because they were
Even
poor.
the festivals.
Right.
were less good.
Strangers popped into the street. Overhead the albatross hangs motionless upon the air, and deep beneath the rolling waves, in labyrinths of coral caves, the echo of a distant time comes willowing across the sand, and everything is green and submarine. And no one called us to the land, and no one knows the wheres or whys. Something stirs and something tries, starts to climb towards the light.
Was it you put an and in?
Bit out?
Yeah, and you put an and in before everything, and there isn't one.
Right, can you drop days?
Yeah, out or just dropped?
Very low.
I mean, if it's a matter of cutting off the sea of cloudless to match. Does that machine cut out the other things as well when it's actually running, like it does when
C'était un club micro.
Thanks, you're right. That's exactly it, unless I record and won't hear it. Oh, then I'll put it in here directly.
see it.
Okay.
So it was a little bit early again.
Oh, it's a bit early.
I'll move it further along. Let's try recording it this time.
Yeah, try recording it.
Sure.
Can't hurt.
Because you're more dramatic, you know.
Right, now you're gonna hear it plenty.
You want to turn it down a little bit?
Let me rewind this one.
It was a bit early again, didn't it?
No, I've done it. I've done it more. I've moved it another.
Shall we try to put it on directly? Just in case we,
Yeah,
we've
we
got
should
it.
try every time.
So let me, no, okay. No, we'll fetch it probably.
How much have we moved it? Another 3 inches.
This time I'll record it, so if it's okay, it's okay.
What were you doing before you became interested in music?
I was studying architecture at the Regent Street Polytechnic.
I've been playing guitar. I've been playing a bit of guitar ever since I was about 15. Just in bands, this and that and the other.
We were students
Where were you a student?
at the Regent Street Polytechnic School of Architecture.
And you dropped architecture
Yeah.
to pick up music?
Well, no, it didn't. It wasn't quite like that. I mean, for the first 2 or 3 years that we were playing, we were still students. See.
I met Nick and Rog at architecture school, Regent Street Poly. I went to music college for a year, and I did private piano lessons before that.
The band was working after a fashion, and things were beginning to happen. I mean, we'd got a record contract, and we were making a record and getting work, and generally being talked about slightly. And it became increasingly obvious that there was not time to do both things. And I very badly wanted to be a rock and roll star as well as a successful architect. And fortunately, I had a very good yearmaster at the time. And I went to him and said, look, I don't know what to do. What shall I do? Because I'd done 5 years and I didn't want to sort of throw it all up and then 6 months later try and go back. And he said, well, lad, obviously most sensible to go out and seek your fortune because you can always come back, which was like a very easy way out for me.
And then you decided to drop the architecture.
Yeah. Well, I didn't decide to drop it. They decided to drop me, actually. They suggested that I left, which really suited me right down to the ground, because I hated it. And then I was lost for a bit, and in fact I went and did interior design for the sake of trying to do something else, and gave that up after 2 months.
You didn't go to university or to college or polytechnic?
No. I went to the Cambridge Technical College. And did a bit of van driving as well. Just to please Nicky.
You didn't sell pet food?
No, I didn't sell pet food, no. But they tell me it's a very interesting profession. No, the only thing I've ever really done for a living is play guitar.
We have a great understanding
Whenever
of
we
each other
run out of money.
and tolerance.
So, I suppose it's a question of money.
Adrian.
That's all it is, Adrian.
Adrian, you're being very provocative. Trying to be very provocative.
Well, I'll do my best, but...
Well, we refuse to rise.
Right. Quite. Certainly not to jibe like that.
You're suggesting I quieten down, then?
Not necessarily.
No. You carry on.
Carry on, Adrian.
It's
All we're
jolly
saying
good
is
fun.
you won't fool us by saying things like money. Well, did you know? Did you were you aware of the fact that all the equipment that we have was given to us by our mothers? Who are extremely well known. We're we're all from the British aristocracy, with the exception of David Gilmour, and all our mothers are countesses and things like
dukes
that.
and duchesses.
Yeah,
But
and
my
they
mother
just
was extremely nouveau riche and she bought all the equipment.
Well, when David
So I
joined the
had
group,
to-
you see, when Sid left, we went to David's mother and we said, look, we'd like your son to join the group. You'll have to front a lot of equipment. And, I mean, that's how we got all our equipment. I mean, it is very easy. It's just a matter of picking...
So, in fact, anybody can do it.
Oh, anybody. Well, except they have to have a great deal of money.
Yes.
We don't need anything else. Don't need
No
anything.
talent, no musical ability.
No musical training required.
Would you say that you were now well off, having worked with the Floyd for 5 years?
I'd say I'm well off.
Yes, pretty well off.
No. I got a fair bit of money, I think.
Depends who you compare it to.
I mean, I don't know how much money I've got. Are you talking about money?
Yes.
Yeah, I've no idea how much money I've got, you see.
I mean, it's very hard to say. The main reason that makes it hard to say is that we have not yet settled up all our income tax affairs. So we haven't had what might be termed the final reckoning.
Guitare première.
Berlioz got any of all those singers together.
That's what they said to Beethoven. The only reason he carried on was because he was stone deaf. Yeah, right. Berlioz is right.
He thought, I know, I'll get a great,
I know what
bloody
I'll do.
great
I'll get
echo
1,000
chamber.
musicians and put them all in a big church with 1,000 singers.
Yeah,
It's
bloody
gotta
millions
sound
of them.
good.
No, but seriously, I mean, you think you need any talent at all? Why are you laughing?
Well, why aren't there millions and millions of imitators
Look,
of the
why
Pink
aren't all
Floyd
these
sound? Why isn't everyone else as
people out there
successful?
doing it? Don't tell me they can't scrape the bread together to buy an amplifier. Oh, rubbish.
Rubbish. We only started off with about 10 bobs worth of gear.
Yeah, I'd go along with that some of the way, because I do think that we are.
What do you think exactly?
Well, I think exactly what you said, that we can, and it's a danger that we could become slaves of all our equipment, and in the past we have been. But what we're trying to do is to sort it all out, so that we're not. But I agree. I mean, it's a danger. It worries me sometimes that we have this so much equipment, and you can hide behind it.
No, that's a load of rubbish.
Well, could you explain why it's a load of rubbish?
Just because we're all totally free human beings and we can do whatever we want to do.
To some extent, we're trying to simplify it out a little now and make it make the logistics of it a little more organised. So it's, I mean, it has been a bit sort of Heath Robinson, a bit the mad scientist laboratory on stage.
All that equipment.
Oh, Adrian!
Anybody can do
Adrian!
That's a jolly good one. You should, I tell you what, get 4 of them and try it. Be jolly good. Yeah. You'd probably be just as good, yeah.
Well, if they work on it for a year or so.
Yeah.
No.
Because there were some people in the studio yesterday and they said, oh well, it's all very well, you know, with all that equipment around and all that money, and anybody could do that. Anybody could do the same sort of sound effect.
Yeah.
Are they wrong?
Are they wrong?
Of course they're fucking wrong.
Absolute rubbish. It's a load of rubbish. You have to be...
You have to be highly, you have to be highly trained
and
classically
sensitive.
trained, even I'd go so far as to say, sensitive musicians.
It's been a gradual process.
How long has it lasted?
Money's no problem.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, fewer for David than for some
About
of us.
5 years.
And so you just added bits of equipment. I mean, every year you've got more and more and more.
Well, look at the back of Umaguma.
Oh? Yeah.
Look at the back of Umaguma and you'll see there's about a quarter of what there is now. But it looked a lot then, didn't it?
What about the idea that anybody can do, as I've already asked you this, anybody can do what you're doing if you are technically sufficiently well equipped? Do you think that's rubbish?
Yes, I do, because it's not just a matter of doing it, it's a matter of selecting. I mean, anyone can produce the sounds we get, but the whole point about it is that you've got to decide which sounds to use, how to put them together.
No, I think it's rubbish. I mean, that anybody could. It's ridiculous. And it's like saying... No, it's not like saying that at all. I can't think of something else which uses expensive equipment.
Well, I mean, is it like saying a painter? I mean, you know who...
No, that was what flashed into my mind. It's not like saying that at all, because anybody can go out and buy a tube of paint, but not everybody can go out and buy a 1,000-watt PA. But that was the example that flashed into my mind. Obviously, it takes more than brushes and expensive paint to paint a groovy picture, man. I'd like to see it. I mean, anybody, if I heard somebody saying that, I'd like to say, okay, well, you know, if we were at a gig, it'd be quite nice sometimes to say, okay, go on, there it is. Get stuck in. In fact, you can open the show. There's going to be 4,000 people in here in half an hour. Get up there and knock them out, man. And they'd then say, oh, but we don't know the equipment and we'd need time to rehearse. And so we'd say, yeah, well, so did we, about 4 or 5 years.
The invention of the transistor was a big breakthrough for us, as was the invention of electricity.
Not to mention the discovery of penicillin,
Right.
which we did before we even started on music.
And the invention of the W-bin.
There's a joke there somewhere.
Yes. I haven't quite got it.
It's not a joke, it's the W-bin. It's highly efficient.
It's a speaker system.
It's much better than the ordinary speakers you see, so you can cut down on weight and volume with a bit of luck.
Mr. Gilmore. Still actually, no, Mr. Gilmore.
The well-known destructor. The well-known door destructor.
Sorry about this little interruption.
That's all right.
What were we saying?
Now
we're talking about Heath Robinson equipment, yes.
Yes, and I made one point of the 2 points that I was going to make. The second point seems to have slipped from my mind. It was something about the over-electronicizing of it all.
Getting bigger and bigger.
Yes, well, I think there's a move. I mean, there's various schemes afoot to diversify in various directions, in terms of sort of recording and so on. Anyway, not involving enormous electronic devices.
No, I really don't think they're...
What? Coupe l'instant, coupe.
I don't think...
Clap de fin. Clap de fin, oui.
I was just about to say something then.
Sorry, but... Go on.
No. That isn't a problem. I mean, we do have problems, but like, the equipment taking us over isn't one of them.
When you say you do have problems, what do you mean?
Well, Doctor.
I mean, serious ones.
Yes, we've all got problems in our heads, like everybody has. But not in the truck.
Strangers passing in the street, by chance two separate glances meet, and I am you and what I see is me. And do I take you by the hand and lead you through the land and help me understand the best I can? And no one calls us to the Lord, and no one forces. Can you cut Rick's line out? And no
Troisième.
one calls us me. Do I take you by the hand and lead you through the land? Help me understand the best I can. No one calls us to move on, and no one forces.
Entry.
Flat.
Flat.
What did you say?
What did you say?
I was singing the wrong words.
We understand the best I can. No one calls us to move on, and no one forces down our eyes. No one speaks and no one tries. No one flies.
You got to sing no one.
Yeah, give me the whole verse and you can drop in, but I'm...
Okay, okay.
And lead you through the land. Help I can. No one calls us to move on, and no one forces down our eyes. No one speaks and no one tries. No one climbs around the sun.
Flies.
Club de fin.
Flies, not fly.
Do you think that you're going round in circles, or do you think that
We don't feel as though we're going round in circles, but I mean, it's always possible that we are. I mean, we may suddenly, like the man in the desert, come across our footsteps and think, my God, it's all a mistake.
I think that's jolly unfair. I think we're ever so progressive and we evolve ever such a lot between every record.
I think it is now, yeah. I mean, yes, I mean, to be serious, just for a second or two. Whoops, the whole second's gone by and I didn't manage to say anything.
We have a very recognisable... Right, anyone who listens to us will know it's the Floyd. Whereas anyone who listens to many other bands will know they're playing blues or they're playing this or that.
I mean, they can say anything they want, can't they?
Yes, but do you think they're right?
No, of course I don't think they're right. I mean, who are they to say whether anything is enough or not enough about anything? Particularly about our records.
Well, they're the people that buy the records, I mean...
Well, the people who buy the records can listen to the record and decide whether it's evolved enough for them to want to buy it. If it hasn't, they don't have to buy it, do they?
In a way, your first record resembles very much, or your second record resembles quite a lot your last record. Do you think this is a fair critic or not?
Well, I don't think they say that the first one resembles any of the others very much. I would certainly say that the first one didn't resemble any of the other ones at all. But,
Yes, because you weren't part of the group then, of course.
that's true. But that's not why, in fact.
I'm looking to the future, Adrian. I haven't got enough energy to bother thinking about getting too involved in analysing our past works.
Well, we are the same people after all, and I don't know of any group that's records don't sound a bit like others in as much as they're the same group. I mean, if you say other groups evolve more and change more, tell me one. There's always something that carries right on through all records by a group, obviously. And ours is such a distinctive sound that it's bound to sound as if it's the same group.
Right. This is a popular misconception. It's just that we.
It's just good, but the basic differences in the equipment are nothing really.
Right. It's the way
It's
we
just-
use it.
Right.
It's what you get out of the equipment.
Yeah.
Quite.
Groups of the Shadows had everything practically that we ever had years ago.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Could I ask you a question?
Yes, Adrian, of course you could.
What I want to know, David, is how you manage to stand working and living with Roger and with Nick and with Rick all these years.
Really bloody difficult, I tell you.
Well, how do you manage it?
I don't know, perseverance.
Oh, there's some
I
difficult
don't know
moments.
what you mean by that. Are there some difficult moments? Yes.
You don't know what David means, or you don't know what
I don't know what Adrian means by that.
Well, then you're fucking thick. Your pardon, my friend.
I know what you're digging at.
I mean, what do you want to know about it? I mean, obviously they're all a gang of idiots, but you know, live and let live.
Yeah.
Right, rock on.
Yeah.
Quite.
What do you think, Rick?
Well, I want to know what you think.
Well, I'm asking the question.
No good for one to solve.
So
I
it's
mean, it's very
Rick.
difficult for people to live together, you know.
We don't live together. We live miles apart.
You've been going together for a long time.
We work together,
Yes.
we haven't been going together.
Going steady.
We work together, occasionally. You won't force us into any startling admissions of life at the top.
But this is a ridiculous
Interview. Manny, we can take it or leave it. Namely, take it. Dear oh dear. Ah, the question book.
Question book.
Now,
Hold it.
Very important.
what would you like to know?
La caméra.
Oh, très bien. J'ai pas vu beaucoup lui là-bas, il dit pas de choses.
He's not very important.
No.
It's not me.
Don't waste any film on him.
He is
Got a smile, Chris, and wave.
What's the French for he is only a
Say
road
hello,
manager?
Mum. Go on, Chris.
Wait,
Hello, Mum.
should go down well in Hull, this Velvet.
Not get on each other's nerves occasionally.
Get on each other's nerves.
Yes.
Good Lord, no.
Really?
No.
Because we've been together for such a long time, we've definitely passed various peaks of disagreement and worked out methods of living with each other and getting on well with each other. I mean, we're happy together. We don't work, and that's it. We're not held together simply by the bond of success or money or whatever.
Well, we shout and argue and fight and work it on out, man.
And you're still going.
Yeah, we're still going. It would seem so. I mean, if you can't get over all those things, then you go the way of all the others, don't you?
I think there are things unsaid between all of us that we feel about each other at certain times over the last 6 years that we hadn't said. I mean, I don't know if that's good or bad.
Probably.
But we tend to shut up, close, sometimes.
Withdrawn.
Yeah.
There are not any problems or strains.
Yes,
or...
of course there are.
How do you get around them?
we pretend they're not there. We certainly don't face up to them in an adult way, if that's what you mean. Sense of humour.
I don't know, we understand each other very well, we're very tolerant with each other. But there are a lot of things unsaid as well, I feel, sometimes.
How do you get over the difficult times?
Well, they're not that difficult. And we do. I don't know how we get over it, but we do.
Of course, presents problems, but so far we've managed to surmount them. I mean, it accounts, I think the sort of interpersonal friction of bands accounts for the sort of breakup of bands almost more than anything else. I mean, it's put in various ways of difference of musical policy or whatever.
Strangers passing in the street by chance. To move on and no one forces down our eyes. No one speaks and no one tries. No one flies around the sun.
I went out in one place, didn't I?
Well, the only thing is that on the original you sang someone or one. Do you remember?
Yeah. Well, I thought there was a different one than that.
No, it was all together apart from
Okay. Well, what do you propose to do about that?
We'll listen to it. We'll just check it out.
Okay, I'll come in.
Should we hear, or do you want to read it?
I think the good times are passing by. They're carrying on, and they will continue to carry on. I suspect. I don't think rock and roll's dead, no. Or dying.
Sure, press the record. Can I just keep my finger on the record?
Oh, sure. Oh, well, I can press that afterwards. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. During a leader. 1 and 2, that's it.
It sounded worse that time because it was early, before the actual thing started. Right. Which is what makes it sound worse.
So you want this one a little later now?
Well, if it sounds
So you backed it up a little later?
better, is it?
Oh, okay.
There's no way. Just the wrong end of the lead.
Oh, yeah.
Bad.
Not bad, eh?
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Every day you fall. 2, 3, 4. Every day you fall.
I'm going to do a party trick. I can't do it, Adrian.
No, just one then. Just one. A normal one.
You've had several of those already.
No, he hasn't got them.
Of course he got them. He got them earlier.
Don't argue, Roger, just do it.